What do we need to stop teaching the children? Kids learn by watching us. Whatever we want kids to do or not do starts with grown-ups addressing our own hang-ups. Full stop. That play ends when you reach adulthood. Play is important, even when we're grown. We don't stop playing because we grow old. We grow old because we stop playing. George Bernard Shaw. That you need to be friends with everyone. I've had to tell my kids this. Like when kids in their class don't ever want to play with them. Not everyone wants to be your friend, and that's okay. It's funny, I am constantly telling this to people with pets. It is insane to think your dog has to like every other dog it meets. To just ignore bullies. As a former teacher, it does nothing to address the issue. The bullying persists 100% of the time. As a former bullied, what the hell goes on in the heads of the people who say this? I still feel the effects of feeling like a second-class citizen. I'm 40. I was horribly bullied in grade and middle school and am now living my best life. But it took a long time for me to realize I deserve happiness as much as the next person. You can get what you want if you're nice. It teaches children how to be manipulative and dishonest. Instead, teach them to handle no. Too many people grow up and get offended at being told no. Teachers and parents want their children to learn how to ask for things in a polite way but not how to handle rejection. My brother teaches children and he will actively tell kids no and encourage them to find alternative solutions that don't infringe on someone's decision. I don't believe in forced apologies. They're not legitimate apologies, and the other child knows this. I also don't feel adults should force children to accept an apology. Forced apologies and acceptances don't have any benefits. I am a third-grade teacher. My students know I won't force an apology. Instead, I speak to the students about their choices and how it made others feel. I've found that, once students realize what they did, they do apologize on their own and the other student does accept it because they know the apology is sincere. Oftentimes, students will even try to resolve the issue on their own. It's common for students to ask me if they could speak alone in the hallway. They then return proudly stating that they resolved their issue. Obviously, if something is not resolving itself, I'll continue to help students through it. I will also step in for more significant disagreements. However, I've found that students are able to resolve issues an overwhelming majority of times. However, they are never truly resolved with forced apologies and acceptances of forced apologies because the underlying issue is still there. Please isn't a magic word. It often won't get you what you want. I'm sorry doesn't erase a wrong and is only one small part of an apology, which the wrong party is not obligated to accept. Counterpoint: the willingness to politely ask, but take no for an answer just as politely can be ridiculously useful. In particular, girls need to be taught this. Part of advocating for yourself. Replacement words for vagina, penis, etc. It's not inappropriate for a child to know basic anatomy, and this is only advantageous to predatory people. Edit: yes, I know the vagina is not the vulva, that's why I said etc. I was just giving examples. And thank you, kind stranger, for the award. This. Teach your kids the anatomical words so they have to vocabulary to tell you if something's going on, even at a young age. To push down their feelings and never cry. You don't heal unless you work through your emotions. Support them, don't scold. I tell my kids to not let their emotions control their actions. It is okay to be emotional. To cry, be angry, etc. What is not acceptable to lash out or fall apart because of those emotions. As a teacher, I'm always amused by the things people think we teach kids. Stop teaching _____________. You know what I spent significant time teaching this year? That soiled toilet paper goes in the toilet. That you can control how loudly you burp. That you have to charge a laptop computer for more than a minute to fill the battery. Then you get the, why don't schools teach kids how to do taxes? Yeah, kids love taxes. We couldn't get middle school kids to stop playing Fortnite long enough to focus on the human body unit for a week. I'm just amused by all the things people think happen in schools. And of course there is the notion that parents can teach kids too. That's what we're doing with our son. If there's something important he needs to know, we're teaching it to him. Boys don't hit girls. Girls don't hit boys. Should be taught equally. Obviously, there are exceptions like self-defense. Also, boys, no is no. Girls, no is no. Edit to say and clarify, we should stop teaching this as only a one-sided thing. It should be taught to both equally. Right. My dad was so annoying with this. If I hit my sister, it was don't hit girls. If she hit me, it was well clearly did something to deserve it. What a great way to teach one kid resentment, and another that they're above consequence. To accept collective punishment. Whomever did something to get in trouble for is who gets the punishment. So many teachers do this to kids, and it just breeds resentment for both the teacher and the kid who keeps getting the whole class in trouble. I don't want my kids to be prepared to accept this as adults, and just deal with it from the government, society, their employer, etc. Please teach your children how to not spray spit and mucus everywhere. Cover sneezes and coughs with inner elbows. Keep fingers out of noses and mouths. Don't buzz lips, it sprays spit. Being a kindergarten teacher is living in one big petri dish. I'll pony this one up with proper hand washing. Not just splashing under the faucet for a few moments, but wetting hands, turning off the water, soaping hands well, then turn water on and rinse. I don't feel there is anything we need to stop teaching kids that is common. I feel we need to teach children boundaries. I don't know if it's COVID related or what, but I work with children, and these last few years I've noticed kids are having huge boundary issues. It seems that while parents were teaching them about electronics, hygiene, or even just how to prepare food for themselves, the parents forgot to teach the part where the child has to ask for these things. Not just go and take them. And that generalizes to school or other people's houses.